Hi, welcome. My name is Reese. If this is your first time, welcome to my little studio. It's hard to believe that we're now in the midst of 2025 and I have a big accomplishment. This is my 100th video.
Yeah.
Hard to believe. It's been a definite journey of learning about how to be an artist on YouTube. But definitely a very growing experience, rewarding for all the wonderful, kind people that I've met here and over on Patreon. So I'm so thankful for that. But now we're moving into a new year. Well, one thing you may or may not know about me if you've been on this channel before is I love birds. I am a bit of a birder, but not a hardcore birder, just a light kind of a birder. In the birding world, if you're a hardcore birder, there are something that they call a big year. So a big year for a birder is usually a year where they will set a goal to see as many birds on their life list, which is a list that they keep of every bird that they've never seen before or every bird they have seen. And they check them off and they have the goal of seeing as many birds as possible. I knew someone who did that here in the state of Florida, and in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock they would get an alert. Believe it or not, it's quite amazing. They would get an alert that, let's say, I don't know, a vermilion flycatcher had shown up at some specific spot. And there's actually like an app or something where they get notifications. All the birders will say, hey, this specific bird is here in this spot. So he and his other friends doing the big year would just jump in the car in the middle of the night and drive to this destination for the possibility of seeing this bird that's on their list. And they do this all year round. It's amazing. So in thinking about that, I thought, how could I reinterpret that for art? And I came up with the idea of having a big creative art year. So what does that mean? Well, it means whatever that means to you if you like that idea. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be as playful and follow my muse as much as possible. So let me tell you why that kind of happened for me. What led me down this idea, this concept? Back at the beginning of Christmas, I got, for some reason, really excited about the concept of Christmas this year. I got all my Christmas stuff out, my nativity. I had it really kind of going. I don't have a ton of stuff, but it was in my general area especially where I watch TV, I had it all decorated really, really pretty. And then at church, we had the kids get up and do one of those adorable like types of moments. It wasn't a full long play, but it was just a song. And they all dressed up. They, Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus, and they had angels with like tinsel halos on their heads and wings, and one kid was carrying this giant gold star around, and it was so cute. And I'm just like, wow, that's just it stirred my muse, I guess. And it led me down a little wormhole of drawing all kinds of funky gold stars, almost childlike gold stars. I started playing in my sketchbook a lot. And so I'm going to be sharing some of that today, like what some of those meanderings were over the holidays and still is going on today. I've even got some gold stars I hung up in my little art space because I got so excited. It made me want to basically, instead of doing a goal, like so many people do New Year's resolutions, goals, or whatever, it made me set an intention. That's what it inspired for me to do. And so I'm excited. I hope that it carries me through the whole year. So let's see where this takes us and what trouble we can get ourselves into. So I've had this book, Big Magic, for a very long time. It's written by Elizabeth Gilbert, who's the same author of Eat, Pray, Love, which was also made into a movie with Julia Roberts. You may remember that. I did read the book and I saw the movie. And that wasn't necessarily my kind of a movie. It was inspirational. I saw the value in it, but it was a little too. But this book she wrote back in about 2015, I think this came out. And it's not a fiction, it's just a book about creativity. And it's just big magic, creative living beyond your fear. I don't know if you have a problem with artistic fear at times, whether it's fear of the blank page or fear of making good art, just fear of getting started, all those things that hinder our artistic creativity. That's what this book is about. And it is just, I've had it for years and I have it marked up. And, but just my recent interest in thinking about being more creative and being more open to following my muse, I started thinking about this book again. And so I got it out. And so what was really funny too about it when I first opened it up was right in the part of the design of the book is stars. So with all my obsession of stars recently, I thought that was hilarious or just amazing that the book also has a design of stars. For whatever that's worth, it's just I thought it was interesting. I felt like my muse was leading me to get more inspired. Just look at all the little stars in the design, and they're everywhere in this book. At the beginning of every chapter, there's stars, and I really got excited thinking about this book again, and just reading some of the things that I highlighted and underlined and starred and made notes to. I started getting, really interested. I'm like, I've got to get back into this book. And so if you are one of my Patreons over on Patreon, if you're one of my Patreons on Patreon, anyways, I'm going to be talking about this book more. I highly encourage whoever you are to get the book, or borrow it from your library, whatever you can do, and just take a look at it and see if there might be something in here to inspire you. I'm going to be talking about this more on Patreon, and talking about some of the chapters and the more specifics, and actually reading some of the things that I find really inspiring in this book. So this is going to be my guide for at least a while. But I also wanted to share some of my meanderings in my sketchbook. I've been in this for a while now, and you've seen some of these pages already. So in the past few months, I've been working on trees, and I've added watercolor to it. I usually start off with a sketch and then add watercolor to it, and sometimes some Prismacolors or luminance pencils or something like that. And then sometimes things are done from my imagination or a combination of a reference. And I love this little bird I did. That is actually straight from my imagination. And I thought he's really, really pretty. He's kind of wispy. Use of watercolor. And this is, if you don't know, this is the Art Creations Talons book. And it's funny because when I first got this, I thought, this thing can't hold much water. But I've gotten a little crazy in it recently, and it has taken a lot of water. I was really shocked. It gets a little buckly, but it's a sketchbook. It's meant for fun, not for beautiful, fine, final work or anything. And I had sketched this tree when I was on vacation for Thanksgiving, and then I went back and did some watercolors on it. This is another one that I'm kind of still playing with. And then here are some of the angels that I started doing. But you see, I did these wonky, crazy little gold stars. And some of them are actually drawn with my left hand because I wanted them to be very childlike. And for these, I used my gold paint, the Fine Tech paint. It has gold and silver and various colors in there. And then I just had some ideas, so I did these like little quick thumbnails. And then I did the, I went into doing all sorts of angels, and I used like concepts. So this is the angel of Twilight, and of the Twilight, and she was actually inspired after thinking about Christmas and stars. I remembered a classical painting that I had seen in the past of this lady flying through the sky at night, and I'll have to find that reference and hopefully put it up on the screen, or at least the name of it. And so that's what got me started with this. And then I just decided doing different angels. Some are not done yet, like her. She's still being tweaked. And this is the angel of the stars and the moon. And then the angel of the dawn, which I don't like her in general, but I really love all these cute little mourning doves that I put flying into the night sky with her, or the morning sky with her, as dawn cracks over the mountains. There's all this like mist rolling in. Then just various things, some things still being tweaked and worked on. I was playing with these actually earlier today. And then I had to do a snowman for saying goodbye to 2024. So I did him. And then I started thinking about my year's intention, or an overall goal. And that's when I came up with the concept of a big art year and having fun. So I did a bunny, and then this is a nightjar, which is actually back over here on this first page. This is a nightjar. And if you don't know what a nightjar bird is, nightjar is a family of birds, and it includes things like whippoorwills and chuck-will's widows. They're the birds that fly at night and have big wide open mouths so they can catch as many mosquitoes and bugs as possible. So I put him up there amongst the stars. And then this is when I was really defining having a lot of fun and having a big creative year. So that's when I did this, like, we're putting a little sign out in the middle of the woods with some squirrels and birds and nuthatches and flowers. And again, I'm doing as many of these like night sky types of little things. So I did this beautiful, there was actually some ceiling painting that I saw from some historic place that it's a constellation painting on the ceiling of a very famous site that you can go see. And it had different animals because they were constellation based, but this beautiful swan was up there, and I thought, I want to do a swan with my little gold stars. And so that's what I did in the sketchbook, and it's actually being inspired, has inspired me to do something on another piece of paper. And then I just got some sketches going, just fun little doodles, things that are just in the progress of being worked out. Some things, gets sketched out and then erased out when I'm not happy with it, and then once I'm happy, I will, or like happy-ish, I will then use watercolor or gouache or whatever I have to just kind of bring it to life. So that's mostly what I've been working on.
Time is up, we don't have no luxuries. Touch my lip as I breathe for the two of us. Show me what you got, give me something more. Show me what you got, I need something else. When you liberate me, feels like I am going crazy, so full of love. When you're dancing on me, I'm beyond the new moon lazy, so full of love. I don't need nothing too extreme, so come on. Bring the realness, come on. Hold my hand while I dream. I feel so alone lately. Time to give it up. Give me something more. Show me what you got. I need something else. Something more. When you liberate me, feels like I am going crazy. So full of love. When you're dancing on me, I'm beyond the new moon lazy. So full of
Well, that's pretty much all I have to share for this week. I've actually been going outside in nature as well and been doing more of my sketches in my sketchbook that I use when I'm outside in plain air. Just a watercolor sketchbook. And I ran out of time, so I don't have time to share that today, but I will next time. But I hope that you found today's video to be somewhat enticing, or maybe it stirred your muse a little bit, like it has me. This new quest that I'm on kind of got me fired up. So we'll just see what happens. But I want to encourage you that if you need extra content, there's more content over on Patreon, and we're slowly building up, getting better and better over there as well. And I'm hoping to share more of that journey, this journey, over there as well. So to wrap it up today, we're going to make the final word, the key word that you can put in the comments so I know that you came all the way to the end is, what do you think it is? Stars. So add that to the comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm so excited to share this journey with you, and I'm looking forward to all your comments. And tell me what's inspiring you. What is getting you excited to start this year off, and what your goals are, what your artistic creative goals are. And I guess that's pretty much it. I think I've said "and" way too much. All right, guys, I will see you next time, 2 weeks, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.